I'm Brigham Larson with Brigham Larson Pianos. This piano, I actually came in the day after that it arrived. I wasn't in when it arrived. The day after I came, and I totally did a double take. Wow, this piano is gorgeous. I'm excited to rebuild this one. We're rebuilding this one for a client in Colorado, and if you're watching this, thanks for sending this to us and entrusting us with your heirloom. So this is going to be a full rebuild, and this is legitimately the first time I'm going to actually be playing it and taking it apart. When I looked at it when I came in a few days ago, I just looked at it cosmetically and I didn't even try it yet. So this will be like an authentic reaction video. Okay, so this is 1895 Ivers and Pond, which we have rebuilt a few Ivers and Pond, and this is a higher end piano. Ivers and Pond, they're always super solid. There's a few of them out there. Vos and Sons is one that is really impressive that you don't hear much about. Fischer, I think it's spelled the German way, F-I-S-H, let's see, F-I-S-C-H-E-R. I think that's German. That's another one. It's an American piano, but with a German name. And Ivers and Pond is one of them, where it's just like out of nowhere. Who are these people building these super high-end pianos, and just absolutely beautiful, beautiful ornate cabinetry and the just detail all over the place. Even the type of veneer that they put on there, that looks like high-end veneer, and the sides there, the sides of the cabinetry, really kind of a pretty flourish. And the pedals, those are very unusual. The vast majority of pedals are just kind of a plain flat steel, but those are extraordinary. Okay, let's continue on. Okay, so this is real ivory, but it is very worn, extremely worn. So I'll talk to the client about this, see what they want to do. But I mean, there's kind of a cool factor that it's ivory, but this is in D- condition. So I will probably recommend that we just put on new plastic and make it perfect and new. But whatever she wants to do is fine with me. That's very common for this to be so extremely worn and cracks all over the place. That's actually more the rule than the exception. Okay, let's check out the inside. Okay, first impression looks like a great candidate for a restoration. Everything, as you can see, these hammers, you can see there's really deep grooves. I don't know if the camera can kind of, yeah, there we go. Very deep grooves. It's been flattened. These are original 1895 hammers, which you think about 1895, that's like crazy old. I mean, my great-grandfather was born after that. Anyway, that's like 20 years before World War I. It's very old. This is kind of cool. This little side. It's kind of stuck. Hard to push. That's a nice design. That's one of those things that I'm talking about that is just a nice touch, high quality. You can tell that the people that engineered this and built this really know what they're doing. Actually, and I just thought of this because these kind of springs are used in star pianos. That's 2 R's, and that's another one of those pianos that just kind of feels that they're hardy. They're really well built, like those others that I mentioned. Okay, let's see. Sounds terrible. Obviously very clicky action and just really quite awful tone. Oh yeah, major. I don't know if you can hear that. That's loss of tone from the bass strings. It's most pronounced in this area here, where you have these wrapped strings. The strings are wrapped there because you want high tension so that you have high volume, but the problem with high tension is you have high pitch, but down here you want low pitch because it's the bass. So in order to achieve low pitch while still having high tension is to wrap them in copper, which increases the mass, which slows the vibration of the string, which creates a low pitch. The problem with that is you have strings that develop that really flat, harmonicless tone. Of course, it takes decades for that to develop, but it does. Whereas here, I mean, it still sounds bad, but for other reasons. So that's gonna be a huge, dramatic turnaround on this complete restoration on how that sounds. I mean, between the change of the hammers, change of the strings, see how the soundboard is. We always fix up the soundboard, and that surprisingly, when I first started restoring pianos, I didn't actually think that restoring soundboards, stuff like this, crack there. I didn't think originally that restoring the soundboard, oh, there's another crack in there, was much more than a cosmetic repair. I thought that it was just kind of satisfying the perception that a cracked soundboard is a problem. But I am changing my opinion on that because, well, let's check out one thing. I'll show you what I mean, why I'm changing my opinion. And changing, my opinion has been changed for several years, for quite a few years. But this piano, this is a Viennese piano, and it sounded quite poor. And if you look closely, you can see where all of this is from 1880 or so. You can see all of these repairs everywhere. I mean, just all over. So those are all soundboard cracks that we've repaired. We've put crown, restored some degree of crown. It's impossible to restore it completely, but you can restore a little bit. I've got a technique that we've been doing for a few years that just really works. Now, I think I've tried this before on other pianos, and unfortunately the audio doesn't work quite as well, but we'll try it again. How well that's coming through in other pianos. It's surprising how nice that sounds compared to how it was. Looks like most everything else either has strings on it or wasn't as severe restoration as that one. This one I did notice. This one was a very severe soundboard, but you can see there's like 75 shims in there, which actually kind of works to the advantage to restore more crown. I mean, the more space there is that we have to work with, the more we can force that tension back into the board. And I did play this just for fun the other day. It just kind of sustains forever, which is a product of tension. I mean, among other things, product of tension having been restored into that soundboard. So anyway, all of that to say, that's a major tangent. All of that to say that restoring the soundboard makes a huge difference. Okay, we'll also paint the plate. We put an automotive paint on there, make it absolutely gorgeous. Let's get a shot, since we happen to be in front of a couple other uprights that we're rebuilding. This is what the plate will look like. That's that automotive paint. It's super hard, and obviously automotive paints are two-part epoxy, like an epoxy paint that is just way harder than a non-two-part. And then after it gets the strings, it'll look like this. This one's I want to say 1881, something like that. You can see how beautiful that is. with the new pins and the strings and everything, and those strings also will have those harmonics that are so desirable that this piano lacks simply because of age. So hard to see the bridges, but likely we'll do with probably about 50% of the pianos that we restore. We end up doing at least some bridge work, often extensive bridge work, and that and we also reset the down bearing when we do the bridge work, so that also affects the whole overall tone. So yeah, I hope it's a good documentation of this piano being in poor condition. It's the last few days of being in poor condition, because when we're done, it's going to sound amazing. Yep. Thanks for watching.